Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Yes, it's happened again. And you know, the Montreal Canadiens last score 2-0 against the Minnesota Wild last night at the Bell Center. It is what it is. Don't go nowhere. You know, I'm going to tell you what's happening between the Wild and the Montreal Canadiens. Yep, it is what it is. What we can say, right? The only good news is yes, five, five more game. That's it. That's all. And we just want this season to be over. If you're Montreal Canadian fans, but let's talk about what happening between the Wild and the Abs. Like you said, you already the final score 2-0 for the Minnesota Wild. Again, the Montreal Canadiens. And let's talking about the score sheet of the game. Really easy score sheet. It's going to be a quick video today. First period, honestly, only one goal at 6:57. Kevin Fiala score is 30 of the season, assisted by Zuccarello and Kaprizov during a power play. Great puck money movement between the Wild players. A great one-timer shot. Carey Price could not do anything on the bump. He was in the bumper. Great pass for Zuccarello between the legs of the Jeff Petrie. On the flip side, unlucky goal for the Montreal. Dauphin broke his stick. Was coming back for the bench, but he came back too late, and that opened up the goal, the first goal of the game at that moment. And that's pretty much it. Talbot make a big save during the period. Again, Tyler Pitlick on breakaway make a big save, short-handed with a glove. That's really the only opportunities for the Montreal Canadiens. On the flip side, Carey Price make a good save. Again, Fiala for the second time of the period. But that's it. Only 8 shots for the Wild and 7 for the Montreal Canadiens. I apologize. 8 shots for the Wild, 8 shots for the Montreal Canadiens. 2 power play for the Wild, only 2 also for the Montreal Canadiens. Only 1 goal at that period. That's it. Nothing else. Really, team. 2 teams right now. 1 team, they know they are going to go to the playoff, but they battle for the second place. They did enough to win yesterday. But on the flip side, Montreal is a team already thinking to get out this season and move on during the off-season. Second period, easy, 0 goal. That's it, that's all, nothing else. 8 shots for the Wild and 9 shots for the Montreal Canadiens during that second period. No power play allowed. Very quiet again. And Montreal was hanging there. That's the only thing what they did. The hanging there. Carey Price made a good save with his left pad on the one-timer shot from Duhaime, and that's pretty much it. Montreal, not much. They're just hanging there. And then finally, at the third period, what happening? I was said during the intermission, if Montreal can keep the game at 1-0 longer, may be possible to score 1 goal and maybe tie the game. But obviously it didn't happen because right away at 2:29, Matt Boldy, the rookie, scored his 15th of the season, assisted by Fiala and Jordy Ben, take the lead 2-0 and keep that lead until to the end of the game. And honestly, that period was all about the Minnesota Wild. They pick it up a little bit more. They got a little bit more hot. And they shot 15 times versus 9 for the Montreal Canadiens. They have 2 power plays on that period. Minnesota did not score. Montreal have 1 and also did not score for them. By the fact, I forgot one thing to remind you at the first period. Montreal scored a goal, but it was the first of the goal, the Tyler Pitlick, but it was Desalou because the interference of, again, the goaltender from Laurent Dauphin when he pushed Goudreau on the goaltender. So that's happening yesterday. And that's pretty much it, guys. Very quiet game on the score sheet. All right, let's move on to the next thing. It's about all the number. The shot on net, 30, Minnesota, 26 for the Montreal Canadiens. The face-off, I'll be honest with you, Montreal do very well for the last 4 or 5 games, 56 over 44. The power play, unfortunately, Montreal continues struggling. 0-3, 1-4 for the Wild, 24 hit for the Montreal, 22 for the Wild. 8-minute penalty, Montreal 6 for the Wild. 22 block shot, Montreal 14 for the Minnesota. Finally, 16 giveaway Montreal and 12 for the Minnesota. The best player for the Minnesota, Fiala with 2 points against Montreal. Erickson, EK have a 3 shot on the Price. Spurgeon have 22-46 finally with a shootout. Third of the season, Cam Talbot stopped the 26 shot he faced. Nobody have a 1 point for Montreal. Petrie shot 5 times on Talbot last night. Romanov 22-27. Finally, Carey Price, second start of the season, .933, stopped 28 of the 30 shot he faced yesterday. Frenchy corner right away. Nothing to go deeper here. Price solid for the second time. Honestly, he did better again. The Minnesota Wild, unfortunately, is the second time and 2 start. The Montreal did not score any goal. One is between the pipe. Price, what he said after the game, really a Carey Price, calm, smiling. He knows what's going on the end of the season. Great to see Carey that way. He said, look, I feel better. It's great for me to get more reps. I feel more organized around my net. I track the puck better also. I can see the puck better. Look, I'm behind about everything, I understand. But I feel good about my body. And that's the most important thing for me. No problem with my knee. Look, we play against a solid team, the Minnesota Wild. Unfortunately, we cannot score. But we have to still consider what we're doing right now. Finish strong the end of the season, and we'll see from there. Unfortunately, another, Paul Biron struggled with injuries after injuries. He waited 6 months after he had a surgery on his hip to come back. He came back with a couple of games. He got hurt. Come back again. He got hurt and played only 4 minutes 25. I don't know what this is a sign for him. Maybe it's time for him to stop playing hockey. I don't know. Carey Price was mentioned about Paul Biron during his press conference. I forgot to tell you. He said, look, you have one guy walks out like anybody else. It's Paul Biron. He said he walk all the time. It's just amazing to see Paul Biron walking so hard and to not be, have those kind of injuries. Just sad for him. That's what's from Carey Price. Martin Saint-Louis, after the game, look, overall, I like the effort. Only the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes, we got really, we struggled a lot. Their forecheck was over us. Their speed was over us. We did not react pretty well the first 5-6 minutes. But after that, we readjust at the game, at the tempo of the game against them. Unfortunately, we are not opportunists. Again, we struggle to scoring goal. And sometimes a goal on power play, a goal here, change the momentum of the game, but we cannot. We have a few times we had 2 breakaway yesterday. Talbot make a good save, but honestly, we have to give credit for the Wild. He said, look, also, he mentioned, look, I understand what's going on, how many straight losses we have, but it's not the same thing we have at that moment with Toffoli, Lekonen, Chariot, Kulak. They are players with experience in this league. And I see the reason why we don't score a lot of goals is the chemistry. We don't have that kind of chemistry we was in the past. First by line, then the players, defensemen with the forward. So it's not an excuse, but we have to be realistic here. So I'm not going to tell you my team does not do well or they don't try. It's just the reality of what's going on right now with the Montreal Canadiens. And there's a reason why we are at the bottom of the standing. It's not easy to come back And I can understand their feeling at that inside those, for the players inside the locker room. A great game for Talbot, and he mentioned about he's a great, smart player. He does a lot of good things. I like the way he played Pitlick since with Montreal Canadiens. I will see if he's going to be part of the Montreal next season. But so far, I like the way Pitlick, and that's maybe his best game for the Montreal Canadiens. He stepped up. One Paul Biron was, he left the game yesterday. Romanov, he said, look, the improvement that Romanov sent on behind the bench, almost like 30 games now. Romanov does an amazing. He become the Romanov the people was expect. For the people told me about him, and I like the way he's played. He did not want to mention too much about Joel Armia. We know he returned in Finland. He said, look, raison personnelle, we have to respect the situation with Joel Armia. He's not going to be back for the rest of the season. He talked also about the Minnesota Wild, how strong they are, how big they are, and how fast is. He was impressed by their forecheck. He said, look, it's always two guys in your face all the time. If it's the puck change direction, there are already ones coming to you. And if you are not quick enough to respond, you're going to have difficulties against them. That's what they are, the Minnesota Wild. He said, look, I like the fact we give them only 2 goals. I'm sure they did not push too hard, but they did enough again to win against us. For me, I would say Talbot did enough to get a W, and so is so for the rest of the team. They know what they at. They know what their Montreal did during the season, so they expect to win against them. But again, they not push too hard for me. Why is that? Like they not play 60 minutes at full speed, a forecheck against Montreal. It's a really a tricky game. They could lose this game or give a point to Montreal because the interest was not there for the Wild, but they did enough to win that W. Foligno out before the game with COVID protocol 19. That's something we have to follow up. No problem for him to be back for the roster for the playoff. They have a couple of players missing for them. Dumba, Merrill, Greenlee, Tyler Joss, and now Foligno. 5 players missing on this. So you can see the 4 line for them was not usually who they are until only Durham play with them. Finally, the Wild consists to battle for the second place for the playoff. That's what their mission for the rest of the season. The Blues lost yesterday in OT, so that gave an advantage for the Wild to St. Louis Blues. Finally, the next game for the Montreal Canadiens is going to be Thursday, the 21st at 7:00 p.m. at the Bell Center for the Montreal. They still have 3 games to play during the rest of the week, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is what it is, but before I want to leave this video, I want to mention this really sad news for Guy Lafleur. He's really struggling right now with the health. I will ask you, if you don't mind, to have a thought and a prayer for Guy Lafleur. They request the Montreal Canadiens and Guy Lafleur to give the privacy for the family, but it's not looking good. Obviously, after we lost Michael Bossy, hopefully we don't go to hear that news very soon. We wish the best for Guy Lafleur and also for the family Lafleur. This complete another post-game Montreal Canadiens with the hockey coach, Coach Frenchy, for the Hockey Nation Live Show. I can wait to see you for the next video. And until then, we want to remind you, of course, don't forget to click on the likes, subscribe to the show, share this video, and tell me your comments about this video. And finally, yes, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody.